Bruno, let's go a little deeper on. I know something you're passionate about and still compete to some level. I don't know. The last couple of years, I know you had a back injury you're dealing with, but what is it about bodybuilding, but then also just fitness as a whole that you've remained so disciplined, so committed to, and what are the benefits to you as an individual? And if somebody's kind of like either struggling with that journey or just getting on that journey, what are some broad, and I know you said a little bit like, hey, structure, nutrition, but like how I know you've helped coach people as well. So what are some just baseline things to get people kind of building some momentum? Because I think that's what you've stacked now decades of momentum on top of each other, which builds just a really strong foundation versus people that they do it good for 2 months and then they're off for 4 months and then back on it for 2 months, and it just kind of becomes a bit of a roller coaster.
Yeah. So there's one word that encompasses a true fitness lifestyle. It's lifestyle. You can't go out and drink on Friday and Saturday and on the Monday go, okay, I'm in the gym, let's hit it. You have to convert your lifestyle. No matter, and I had to learn this from my spouse. My wife's a pro athlete. She's been competing in the bodybuilding community for over 20 years, judge, coach. And I learned some of this from her, but not all of it. I started out as an endurance athlete. I've done Olympic level triathlons, at the Alcatraz swim, and it was a biathlon. And as I got older, my ability to have time to train and my body to sustain that type of training couldn't take it. And I transitioned to different events. When I met Amanda, I started lifting weights in a different way. I've always been a hybrid athlete. I am absolutely not a true bodybuilder. She actually called me out because I was mocking people she was judging one time. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to do this. So yes, I am a pro IFBB bodybuilder. I am going to compete in the World Championships next year. And it is going to take me a full year to get on stage with nutrition training that is for that event. I'm also going to compete in the Highland Games next year. So I'm a little bit of a diverse athlete. But to get there, it's the same thing as to be successful anywhere. It's commitment. You cannot do it halfway. You're either all in or you're not. So for me, the foundation is nutrition and sleep and training. Those are the three things that really matter. I'm telling you in the soft community that we are horrible on nutrition and sleep. Deployments don't support it. When you're pulling meat out of a freaking cooler overseas and it says for prison or military use only, grade D, I mean, that's what you're eating. MREs, it's toxic poison, but you do it when you can and you sustain. So when you understand what your body fires off of, food, sleep, and then you train as a performance athlete, you win. I will tell you, I do not feel right unless I train. I'm 59 years old. I train 6 days a week, and my off day is an active rest day. It's the way my spouse and I live. And to this day, I can still go in any gym and destroy a 30-year-old. And some of it's will and, mindset because I have it and maybe they don't. But so many people these days talk about want, should, could. I'm going to tell you right now, nobody's ever stood on a podium and used the word hope. So to me, it's just getting after it and staying in it and being committed and making it your lifestyle. Now, do I want to have a nice bourbon and a cigar with Bear after we, have a very successful year? It's happening. I'm 59 years old. I'm going to enjoy life. But I probably went 25 years in my life where I was never off nutrition unless I was deployed. And that's how you get it. In a nutshell, it's a commitment like no other because you cannot outlift and outrun bad nutrition. You just can't. So
great. Cool. What's a belief system Bruno had at age 30 that has evolved or changed to where you're at now?
Ooh.
And this can be anything. This could be relationship. This can be nutrition, fitness, work.
I'll throw this out there real quick for the married guys. Happy wife, happy life. I mean, and just to be honest with you, I think the most important thing a person can do is be true to yourself and just be an honest person. One thing I will tell you is people that I don't get along with know it. I don't have to say it behind their back. My body language and my mouth let it known. I just believe that being a true person out there is the most important thing you can be. That's why I'll never be a politician. But this is what you get. This is who I am. This is what I stand for. And everybody knows that to me, it's always been, the flag, the country, the military. It's just who I am. But there's things I don't like to get wrapped up in. Like, I didn't watch the presidential debate the other night. I refuse to watch that stuff because I'll just get angry. So it's one of those that I know how I'm going to vote. I hope everybody votes the same way I do. We know what's good for the country. But where I was at 30 and where I am now, I think when you get some age behind you, you start looking at the younger generations and you start saying, like, to me, and I think the women will agree with me on this one, to me, today's man is weak. I think that it's producing a weak man. I think that they're not strong mind, not strong body. And that's why a 59-year-old like me can still roll with anybody. So, I mean, opinion.
Yeah, it's interesting with the youth, man. I got some friends and former teammates that coach, like middle school and high school now. And I think I trust their judgment on being able to kind of assess. And what I'm hearing is not great news. You know what I mean? Like, so that scrappy, work your butt off mentality, even with like sports like football and stuff. And hopefully it hasn't like infiltrated things like wrestling, but who knows? It's just, it's a completely different mindset. You know what I mean? And I wonder is there a way for that to make a comeback, almost like because it becomes like a retro concept and then it becomes cool again, or once that erodes, do you ever get it back?
So let me just jump in there and say culturally, I don't think so. And I'll tell you why. The only reason I went in the military, the people that know my story, is I was a very high-end high school athlete that, because in South Florida, if you play ball, you don't even have to go to school. And I started getting in trouble, and I was a violent person. I liked punching people. It just was what I was into when I was younger. And I got in a lot of trouble. And I literally had a judge say, military or jail. And I went in the military. That is not done today in today's culture. Kids like me don't have that option. And look how I turned out. When you look at the military, I hate to say this, you have some great operators coming through the door, but the military wants choir boys that have never been in trouble. And I'm telling you, you don't get Vikings going overseas and shooting people in the face that are choir boys. It's just not how they get them. That's how you get guys like me and guys like Bear. So I think culturally the problem is when we've shifted away from even the military taking people like that, or, hey, this is acceptable, or this is how we correct a guy like that. Now, how do you correct a guy like me? You put him on some kind of medication. You put him in feel-good camp, and all that shit doesn't work. So that's just my 2 cents.
I want to crystal ball Born Primitive Tactical for a minute. We'll have some fun with it. If we could look ahead, and let's say 3 years from now, Born Primitive Tactical, where would you like it to be? Where do you think you can get it?
I will tell you, if we stay true to who we are today and continue to build the way we are today, we will own the space. That's my opinion. I'm not going to badmouth any other brands out there because I've worn all those brands in combat, but we have something they don't. We have a salt in us that says we're never good enough. We're always going to evolve. We're always going to be the best. And we're always going to have the operators tell us this is the right stuff and give us input. We have the saying, we're by the operator for the operator. Nobody else can say that. We weren't made by fashion designers. We're not made by companies owned by, New York people that don't even support the military. We're owned by a former soft guy, and you have a former soft guy for 4 decades designing it with a team underneath him that has a lot of that blood in it. And nothing goes out the door that doesn't get run through the tiers and the most elite SWAT teams. So where do I think we're going to be in 3 years? I think we're going to own the space. I think we are going to be the brand. And I think that it's on us to still pick up that phone call when it's a 5-man SWAT team from the middle of nowhere and say, I want uniforms, and say, I got you, not I'm too big for you.